folks, Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. Coming with a blog post we want to share with you and, of course, review all the latest and the coolest in social media and technology that's out there. We want to do a phone comparison today between the Nokia Lumia 900 and the Samsung Galaxy S3. Both have been issued within, 3 or 4 months of each other. I think 3 or 4 months to be accurate. If you get a chance and you're within the first 30 days of watching this video on YouTube, be sure to go to thechrisvossshow.com to enter to win a Virgin Mobile hotspot. This is their Overdrive Pro 3G, 4G mobile hotspot. We're giving one of these away to one lucky winner, and we also have plenty of different things that we offer and give away monthly or multiple times a month. You can enter if you watch this video later than 30 days from its issuance. So be sure to check out the chrisvossshow.com often. Let's take a look at both these products. Now, I got to tell you, I currently have one iPhone. I have the Windows Phone, the Nokia Lumia 900, and I have about four other Android phones that I have this time. They're all some of the latest phones that have come out this year. And I got to tell you, the one phone that I use to call people and I enjoy talking to people, especially on speakerphone, is the Nokia. Got to tell you, it's got a great speaker system on the bottom. It's got a great mic system. For some reason, people can hear me better on the Nokia than they can on the Android and the iPhone. I can hear them better. They can hear me better. It's one of the things that I really love about Nokia. I got to tell you, when I call people, I use my Nokia. So that's my experience. I'm just sharing it with you. So love both these phones. They're great phones with giant screens that you can enjoy gaming, videos, and everything else on. Let's take a look at each one of them separately so you can compare the two. Now, the Nokia started with a very high price and has dropped in price now where you can get it really inexpensively. Both these phones are from AT&T, so we want to thank the folks at AT&T for sharing these phones with us so we can bring them to you, the lucky watcher, reader, listener, etc., etc. We've got a SIM card plug area in the top, if you will, and then we also have a charging plug in the top. It's kind of weird to have the charging plug there. I got to tell you, it's kind of annoying if you're trying to hold the phone and charge at the same time because you're fighting with the cord. There is another area here, which is, I believe, a microphone hole and your earphone plug that you have. Down the side, we have a sleek side. On the bottom, we have speakers. And the speakers, like I say, work really, really, really well. On the other side, we have a camera button here, we have a power button here, and we have a rocker button that goes up and down. The buttons are nice. They feel a little cheapy, but that's just my opinion. On the back, we have Carl Zeiss camera, which is 8 megapixels, and we also have a flash system. Very disappointed in the camera on the Lumia 900. It's supposed to be Carl Zeiss. It's not that great of a camera. In fact, it's kind of embarrassing. That's my personal opinion. That's what I think. One thing that's interesting about the body that's built on the Windows phone, this runs on, I believe, Windows 7.5 version. And unfortunately, it's not going to be upgradable to the new Windows 8 and the new Windows they are coming out for laptop. At least that's what they're saying at this point in time. One thing that is interesting with the body, it is a unibody, where if you scratch this, it won't show up as well as a scratch because the color is thick through the same of the body, if that makes any sense. Basically, the whole body is this color, this cyan color, or I believe it's a cyan is what they call this color. So if you scratch this, you're not going to end up with a different color that's going to be standing out. So it's kind of interesting how the phone was built and worked. I love it for the size of the screen. It's got a very big, beautiful screen. The thing I gotta tell you is it's a whipping fast. It's a whipping fast phone when it comes to speed. That's the other thing I like about it. It's very fast in being able to bring stuff up. I like how responsive it is on fast downloading speeds and everything else. The other thing I'm going to tell you that you'll probably not believe me is on the Hotspot feature where you can share up to 5 other phones, and being as both these phones and other Android phones and my iPhone are on the AT&T 4G LTE network. Of course, my iPhone isn't on 4G LTE network, but my other Android phones are. This phone has much faster downloading, much faster hotspot than any of my other Android phones that I have. It's amazingly, blazingly fast, especially when you hook it up to an iPad 3, which uses a ton of data to be able to share when it's on a Wi-Fi hotspot situation. So I got to tell you, this thing is whipping fast when it comes to hotspot compared to any of my Android phones, and of course compared to my iPhone, which is only 3G anyway, so at this point in time of recording. So I like this phone for two reasons. It's fast, I love the calling on it, and I love the whipping speed of the hotspot. I use it extensively when I go out for hotspot issues. Both phones, like I said, are AT&T. You've got a front-facing camera, of course, right here on the front. You've got some of the different menu items there where you've got search, you've got Windows to get it back to its home button, if you will, and back button. It's very responsive. I really, really like the speed of the phone. I'm actually very excited to see what's going to come out with the phone when it comes to the version 8 version that's going to be coming out from Windows here, I think in October or later this year of 2012. So I'm very excited to see how it's going to work. I love the live tiles. It's kind of fun to see those. It's kind of fun to see my pictures go through different changes and all that good stuff. Let's take a look at the Samsung. We'll pull this over here. And on the Samsung, we've got a front-facing camera across the top. And then, of course, we've got some different sensors here. We've got a speaker, if you will. This is made for, calling, stuff like that. We've got a home button here. This is very flat against the screen. Sometimes, you can sense it if you pull down, but if you go up, it's sometimes hard to sense. It's got a menu button and a back button. What's kind of nice is the light turns off to save you some battery juice when not in use. It's a very smart phone. It's got a rocker on the side for your up and down. I really like the rocker being on the left side of the phone because most times when you're using a phone, you're using it like this. And so being able to adjust that is really key. A lot of phones that I find the rocker is on the right side, I end up turning them up and down while I'm playing with the phone, which is very annoying. On the right side of the phone, we have the power button. And on the bottom, we have a area where you can plug in to charge, of course. And on the top, we have an earphone button and some miking holes on the top and bottom also that are really small. We've got a camera on the back with a speaker on the back which is usually the main speaker. It uses to play music and everything else. And we also have a flash. Now, the one thing about this body is it does come apart, and you can upgrade the memory in this all the way up to 64 gigabytes just by cracking open the back. You can see here we've got the SIM card, and then you've got a place where you can plug in your micro SD card. So very nice that way, where we've got some upgradable features that you can't do with the Nokia. And of course, these are two different platforms. You've got the Windows platform on this phone, and you've got the Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich on this platform. I'm very impressed with the Android ice cream sandwich system and really like it. Again, both phones are very fast. You'll find that this one, the Galaxy, is also very fast too in the way it presents and the way it puts up screens and processes them. The camera-wise, like I said, with the camera on the Nokia, not that impressed at all. Really not happy about it. In fact, I was really excited when I heard that it had the Carl Zeiss camera in it, and it was supposed to be really great. Now, the one thing you can do with the camera that's in the Nokia is you can adjust the settings to where you can adjust the iOS or ISO, I should say, in different settings to get you what you want in the features. You can do group shots. It's got panoramic shot built in, white balance, exposure values. You can adjust all these different things to help improve the quality of the camera and what comes out the other side. You can also do the same on the Samsung. But I got to tell you, it's just been disappointing. The photos that we've gotten off of the Nokia. So the other thing that you have with the Nokia is you have a much weaker app base of apps you can choose from. I would highly recommend that if you like a great phone, you want something that's inexpensive but is very fast, and you just want calling done. If you're a Hotmail, if you're a Microsoft user, that you're very core, you're not into the Google product as much, the Nokia is a great phone. If you're not into camera taking and apps, it's an awesome little phone. And it's much cheaper, of course, now than the Samsung Galaxy. Let's talk about each phone and what they do in the guts and what the processors are. Let's talk about the Nokia first. You're looking at a 4.3-inch display with the Nokia. It's got 7 hours max talk time on 3G. And let's see, it's got a 1.4 gigahertz processor, 4G LTE, works great on AT&T. Let's see, you've got a 4.3 AMOLED clear black glass touchscreen, one-piece carbonate body. That was what we were talking about earlier with the one-piece body. It's got excellent antenna performance. One of the things about the unibody that is on the Nokia, the reason they built that is to keep away from the antenna gate problems the iPhone had, and to keep the device itself from interfering with the antenna on the phone so it would get great reception, which I gotta tell you, it does. It's blazing. It's nice. It's got Carl Zeiss optics, 8 megapixel main camera on the back, dual LED flash, autofocus, 1 megabyte pixel for the 1 megapixel, I should say, for the front camera. And it's got video calling. Video calling works extremely well, and it's got great screen presence for that. Skype works well on this. It's got a blazing fast processor that just does a great job. We've been really impressed with. I really love the phone, and I wish it had more to offer in upgradability, and I wish it had more to offer in the software upgradability and in the camera. And of course the apps would be nice, but I think we all know where we're at with the product there when it comes to it. It's of course got Bluetooth and everything else that you could possibly want on it for what it does. I think that covers most of the different things. I do wish it was upgradable, but what can you do? Now with the Samsung Galaxy, what we're looking at is this has got a 1.4 gigahertz processor in it. You're looking at 4G LTE. It's got a 4.8 Super AMOLED display screen for HD, 8 megapixel with flash, 1.4 megapixel with camera. One thing that is super cool with the Galaxy is you do have a 4 times digital zoom, so it's great for zooming in and out on photos that you want to get into your area. It's got a 2100 milliamp battery to it. It's got internal memory storage of up to 16 gigabytes. The maximum RAM on it is 2 gigabytes, and you can go up to 64 gigabytes with the expandable memory storage of a micro SD card. It's running on the 4.0 ice cream sandwich update, and it's got 12 by 80 by 720 HD Super AMOLED screen, which we mentioned earlier, which is 16 million colors. So cool stuff there in the build and how it's done. And comparatively, if I was to choose between the two phones, given the same price that they would be, I would definitely choose the Samsung Galaxy. The Samsung Galaxy S takes beautiful photos that rival the iPhone 4S. It's got an 8 megapixel camera, of course, on the back of it, and we're very impressed with the photos that it takes. Some of the different things that we've run into is when you move from the camera to the gallery, it seems to take a little bit of time. We're not sure why, but it takes great pictures that are very, the colors tend to match the pictures they take. We're seeing some of the phones like the Nokia where it takes some yellow pictures. You see a lot of yellow, blues, and greens that have been popping out. It takes great video. The colors are awesome in the video, and we like the colors there. Of course, you can adjust them, so we're very impressed with the camera. Of course, you can't say enough about the app store that they have, the music that you can play. Sound comes across great with this. One of the downsides, though, of sound that I should mention, because I did mention that I love the Nokia and it being able to play out. One of the problems that I have is the speakers on the back of this Galaxy. And so if I'm doing a speakerphone conference, I actually find I have to prop the phone up so that people can hear me. If I want to hear music and I've got the phone sitting down, it definitely muffles it, which is a real pain in the butt for me. I wish they would build it different to where the speaker was in a different position, because that would make sense actually, but they don't. So when it comes to speakers between the two of them, I enjoy calling and music much better, of course, on the Nokia. Once again, you're going to get really fast stuff with the Samsung Galaxy. There's not much of a detriment there. Maybe you can come up with speakers to take and hook in your Galaxy, but it does annoy me that I can't get the speakers on the back or in a place where I can hear them, top, side, bottom, anywhere other than facing down. It seems kind of defeating of the purpose there. You can play your music, do all your different stuff that you want to take and do. Let's take a look at a few different apps. Facebook works extremely fast in here, and given as crappy an app as Facebook is, it works amazingly fast. Let's take a look at some other apps that we can take and feed. I think you guys saw Pulse come up earlier, and when we want to flip through the pages on Pulse, you can see how quickly this will bring up screens and pictures, and it will reload itself, all that good stuff. Very, very fast device that we're very impressed with. And of course, in the end, we'd probably choose the Galaxy over the Nokia. But I do love the Nokia. Like I said, if you aren't about Google products, if you aren't about apps, if you aren't about a camera, get the Nokia. It's an awesome phone, and you don't want to spend a lot of money. I think they just dropped the price of the Nokia down where you can get this for $50 from AT&T, and you're in Lake Flint. And it's a great phone. It's definitely worth what it was originally priced at before it came down. So what else can we show you and talk about on the one of the things we like is, of course, it does have the widgets that you can take and customize on the Samsung. We like this thing with the Samsung S3 where it's got screen rotation. It's got several different controls you can very quickly turn on and off, where you don't have to flip through settings, go search for something. You very quickly, boom, boom, change some of these settings. And I really like that feature, instead of having to go, okay, where's the apps, and then where's our settings, and we got to find the settings, blah, blah, blah. Gaming-wise, of course, it's going to be much funner to watch movies and games on the Samsung S3 over the Nokia Lumia 900. It's going to do a pretty good job, but there are certain limits of apps that you can get and games that you can get on the Nokia. One thing that is an issue with the Windows product is you'll find that there are certain things that you have to pay for quite a bit more on the Nokia Windows product when it comes to apps that you wouldn't have to pay for normally on Android or the iPhone iOS product. So we like those from all those different aspects. Let's see what else we can test out for you guys here. We've got Angry Birds on here. I believe Angry Birds is on the Nokia, but we don't see the phone. But this will give you an idea as to how beautiful the image is. Now, one of the things with the Android phones that always bother me is that the back button is so close and it's so easy to dump out of games. In some of the Android phones, they have a search button that's on there, and it's so easy to do. One thing they did with the Nokia is they made the edges beveled, and they fit really nicely in your hands when you're holding them, and it makes it very easy to do gaming or watch movies and be able to hold the phone. It just has a very natural ergonomic feel, and that's what we really liked about it. Given it's a unibody, it's probably going to survive dropping, unless you drop it directly on the screen, a whole lot more because it's a very solid build. If you're dropping the Galaxy, good luck. And of course, most phones are that same way, so you can't knock the Galaxy for that too much, but definitely the Nokia would hold up much better in a drop unless you dropped it directly onto the screen square. So, given all the different aspects of the both products, I love both. I'm probably going to keep calling with the Nokia and keep listening to music and other stuff with the Nokia. But I definitely like the Samsung Galaxy S3 product, and I think it's one of the most beautiful, wonderful designed Android products that have come out. So my vote is go ahead and pick the one you want based upon the price point you want. If apps aren't important to you, if cameras are important to you, and you're a big Microsoft person, definitely go for this one. I would probably recommend that if you really need to buy a phone right now and sign it to your contract, you wait for the Windows 8 product to come out. But hey, for $50 right now, it's not a bad little deal, and it's a great little phone. I believe there will be an update. I think it goes to 7.8 or 7.7, 7.9. They're going to give a small update to this from my understanding. It won't go fully to 8, but it will give you some more tiles and some more fun functionality than you currently have that will make it feel a little bit more like Windows 8. Be sure to check out both phones. You can find them at amzn.to or any AT&T wireless site. And both phones are wonderful. They work on the AT&T 4G service. Be sure to check to the Chris Voss Show.com often so you can see all of our latest and coolest toys, and check back into some of the phone comparisons we're doing on the site. Thanks for coming by, and be sure to check out both phones.